everybody. How you doing out there in the TV land? It's your boy Dusty, back with you one more time here on the fabulous West Coast, San Jose, California. But it's November, you know. It's November. Normally it's snowing by now in Lake Tahoe, weather ponies, because there's no way we can actually snowboard or ski on rocks. So that water that you were saving for winter, it's about time to let it fly, because we want to go snowboarding this year so we can film epic stuff for all our viewers out there in TV land. Thanks for coming. It's what, November 17th? Where's this month going? Where has the month gone? I mean, geez. We had Nightmare Nights, then we had a week off, then we had Ponyville Cider Fest last weekend, which was awesome, by the way. Ponyville Cider Fest was awesome. If you didn't go, I think we had like 700 people show up, and there should have been more. The Midwest needs to, you Midwesterners, come, because it was great, it was awesome. St. Vincent, all the people were there. But you're not here to listen to me squawk about Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and the Harley-Davidson Museum I didn't get to go to, because it was closed. You are here to listen to the dulcet tones of one David Hammons.
Good evening, Ponyville.
Good evening, David. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Dustykatt? Thank you.
I am awesome.
Thank you very much for having me on your program.
Yes, finally.
I think I've been doing EQI and everything for 3 years now. This is my first real interview.
Yes.
I'm on the other side of the couch now.
Yes, the other side. The other side of the couch. Yes. We have plenty of things to talk about with Dave, because Dave has been in and out of all kinds of stuff over the last year. I mean, geez. Between, you know, doing EQI and then EQI sort of ending, and then going off and doing these other things. We have plenty to talk about, so let's go straight into it with the number one question I ask of everybody. I'm sure you know this question because you watched the show.
Oh, yeah.
What are some of the cartoons and comics that you watched or are still watching and reading this day?
Well, I think that the big cartoon that really got me into doing animation, doing anything, has to be Ed, Edd n Eddy. I mean, it's the end-all, be-all of my personal liking of animation. It's what got me into cartoons as an adult, and really, it was about the time of high school and everything. You know, I'll save you the long spiel, but you know, dark period of high school, find Ed, Edd n Eddy, and it's like, oh, awesome things, life is beautiful again. Yes. And then, you know, so Ed, Edd n Eddy, Powerpuff Girls, Foster's, all those really awesome, you know, Samurai Jack. I call it like the golden age of Cartoon Network. Yeah. And then it sort of like went into a gap where there wasn't really a whole lot good coming out, and I was like, okay, well, cartoons kind of like, you know, started sucking again. And then all of a sudden, Pony shows up, and I knew, here's where I knew that Pony was going to be a big thing, and I didn't mean this to go into an origin story, but when you look at the cast list, or not the cast list, but the production list of Pony, huge percentage of them are Ed, Edd n Eddy people. Oh, yeah. Including Sibsy, Big Jim Miller. I think I saw Woody's name on it, and I was like, Woody's in it? I'm going to love this show. I haven't seen it yet. And then, you know, you had Tara Strong and Lauren Faust. I'm like, I'm done. I haven't seen 1 second of this show. I'm going to love it because it's all Ed, Edd n Eddy people and Powerpuff Girls people, and that means it's going to be awesome. Yeah. Speaking of Woody,
where are you, buddy? You, like, disappeared off the face of the planet.
He's got some secret project going on.
I know. He left Pony a year and a half ago, and I think Mr. Dave knows something that's going on with Woody he won't tell me about.
He's got secrets in his mustache.
Secrets in his mustache. No, I have secrets in my mustache.
Have you seen? I have secrets in my mustache. Though he's got the curly.
I know.
That's the dastardly mustache.
The dastardly mustache.
You've got the hero's mustache.
I have the hero.
He's got the dastardly's mustache.
Yes. We must get him on this program. So if you know where he is, tell me, because I need to find him. It's been forever.
Somewhere in the great north beyond.
Somewhere in the great north beyond. It's been forever since EQI ended, or at least ended when you left. Okay.
I pulled a Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, you pulled a Dave Chappelle. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. See ya. And then you decided to come back to do, because you and I talked and we were doing stuff on this show. So what where the heck did you go?
Well, BronyCon 2013 was the last big convention I went to. I went to Nightmare Nights after that, but 2013 BronyCon, I premiered a cartoon that I had worked very hard on.
Yes, I was on that panel.
A group of people called Hell Hath No Hoagie. We premiered the cartoon, and we had a lot of expectations about what it was going to do, where it was going to go. And so I thought, all right, this is where I want to go. I mean, as much as I did with the Brony fandom, and I love it, I sort of saw an opportunity with my connections with people and my honing my skills as a comedian, as it were, and saying, hey, maybe I can actually do this for a living. Wild concept. Wow. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I've always loved animation. I want to actually make animation. And so I'm going to do that, and I'm going to use this as a launching pad. And so I chased that. I went after that. And, you know, I got an agent in Hollywood, and I made preps to move there. And I actually got some gigs writing and doing something. And then lo and behold, two things happened. I got a couple books published that are coming out this next year, and I got engaged. Yes. So I made the decision to focus more on my novel writing career than writing for animation, just because I had a lot of, you know, it's a long story of where that decision came from. But now I'm back to where I have enough time to be able to do it. I think that's really what it was. It was a time issue. And now that I have the free time, and really what it came down to is EQI, it turned into something that it stopped being fun. You know, it started being this big half-hour production. We weren't really growing comedically. We weren't really growing as a show. And the show kind of reached its logical conclusion. And the reason I wanted to come back, because it's fun, and I enjoy doing it. Yes. And so I thought, okay, let's just bring it back to its original, which is just me yelling into a camera for 60 seconds. And then that allowed you to do that and allowed me to have my fun. And that's where we are. Yeah. Stop me if I'm ranting.
No, no. I like it when you rant. Obviously, I like it when you rant, because I brought you in and put you in my show. So obviously, I like it when you rant. We talked before, and you've always told me you wanted to write for cartoons. So, and that almost came true. Almost.
It did.
Because you were.
It hasn't not come true yet.
It has not come true yet, but you were hired and then on a show that was actually on TV, and then that show got canceled.
Yes. So I got a script out there. My agent and everything was set up. They were going to have me interview with the corporate. They were going to approve it. Everything was gravy. And then the show got canceled. And I don't really want to talk about what the show was.
No, we can't talk about that show. But
we can't talk about. There's still some things in the works. Yes. My name is still in the hat, as it were, out there, and I'm still pursuing that. It's just not quite as aggressively as I used to. Yeah. Due to the whole book situation.
Absolutely. And then, but the thing is, that sort of took you into finding the guys that did Double Rainboom, and then into this project, which is True Tale.
True Tale!
Which we haven't actually seen a lot of lately.
Yes.
There's a lot of production happening behind the scenes.
So much production.
But tell me what you tell the listening audience. What you told me, which I didn't actually realize, is that you and one other person were basically...
We basically created
the whole thing.
Yeah. Zachary Rich, the director, producer, whatever you want to call it, animation artist of Double Rainboom, he liked Hell Hath No Hoagie. He saw my potential, and he said, hey, I've got this show that I'm working on. Come write for me. You look like you know what you're doing. And me and another individual named Bernadette O'Keefe, who's on Twitter. You should follow her. She's great. She had helped done some story stuff with Double Rainbow. I did nothing with Double Rainbow. I did zero with it, but they were kind enough to invite me into the team for this project, and we created the characters. All they had was one sheet, and it was 6 character descriptions. They said we have a thief fox, we have a kitten hero, and then the others. But they were one-sentence descriptions, and from those one-sentence descriptions, we created an entire world, character descriptions. And then our wonderful artists created this great artwork for us. And those of you might recognize a little bit of Ivan in Victor, if those of you who have seen it. I mean, my favorite thing to do is have Russians speaking in third person. And so I insisted that Victor sort of talk like that. So there's a lot of my signature humor, I guess, in a lot of these characters. And definitely Bernie's got a lot in there, too.
Yeah.
But we created the script, we wrote the promo, we got it out there, we're pushing it, and we're pitching it to studios.
Nice.
We're pitching it to places. We're looking to get it out there. It's creating cartoons is a long process. Creating cartoons is something that takes a lot of development effort and a lot of luck. Mm-hmm. And it may not exist in its current form. It may not exist at all. But we're certainly there's a lot of people working very hard to get True Tale out there. And there's a lot of really creative people behind it. And I wish I could tell the viewers to support it somehow, but just watch the YouTube promo, watch the releases that we've done, and keep people talking, because that's gonna help us when we say, hey, people actually like this crap.
Yes, absolutely. Speaking of getting it out there, fan build, right? Did I know back a couple of years ago when Lee Tokar had the whole fan built project thing going on, this would have been like a perfect idea for the fan built concept, as it were. Did you guys have anything with Lee Tokar? Has Lee Tokar seen this? Have you gone to the fan built people and say, hey, what's going on? Could get some help? Anything on that end?
It's not. I think I haven't looked into fan build in ages. I think fan build is more oriented around getting people who can actually produce the project. Mm-hmm. And so those who have ideas and want to work with the production crew should definitely go to that. But right now we have our own sort of de facto production crew called Skydynamic Studios. Mm-hmm. And if anyone wants to work with us, then they're more than welcome to come join. But I don't know. I've not thought about that. I might have to ask Lee Tokar about that.
Yeah, well, if there's any evil characters that you need, I do evil voices,
Oh, yeah.
I can do the evil voice.
Yeah.
or I can do monster voices.
Monster voices.
So make sure you... Yeah. I'm begging here. I'm begging, Dave. Come on.
I auditioned too. They rejected me.
I know. It's no big deal. That was so long ago. It was so long ago. Let's see. Where am I at? Okay, when we first met, I'm gonna put up a slide here.
Oh, you got an old slide?
No, I've got a slide that's gonna haunt you.
Oh no!
Yes. When we first met, you were still working for your family's black walnut business.
I was.
Now, you're a full-time writer. How scary was that jump from a consistent paycheck with your family business, obviously, to actually becoming a full-time writer?
Terrifying. Yeah, you go from being an executive person with 401k and insurance to hoping that your book comes out in time so where you can not live off ramen noodles. I mean, it was a jump and it was a leap. And it was just one of those things where enough things were building up to where I had been working at the company and being a writer and being a brony and balancing those two quite effectively for a number of years, maybe 3 or 4 years. Mm-hmm. And then it got to the point where I was doing so much with writing, so much with True Tale, my own writing, all that stuff, that it was actually interfering with my work. And I was an executive, and I said, look, I cannot be placed with more responsibility in a position that is not where I see myself long term. So I've got to make the jump, get out of here, and bring someone else in. And the timing ended up being perfect. My cousin came in, he took over the business, or at least my part of what I was running. And I walked away with my head held high. We won a medal the last when I was there for a good food award.
Nice.
For a product that I had introduced. So I walked away with doing a lot of good work at that company and knowing that I had some place to go. I think that's the biggest terror for us, anyone entering the creative arts, is when you leave your day job, where do you go? Mm-hmm. And I had a landing place, which was I had an agent, I had two published books, or books coming out in 2015. Yeah. I've got more stuff on the way, and I became a professional editor as well, and so I'm editing books for a living as well. So I've got all these other things. I've got some place to land. There's holes in my parachute, and it hasn't quite turned into an airplane yet. But if my metaphor is still working, I'll soon be flying.
Nice. Plus, you have a lifetime supply of black walnuts.
Oh, yes. All the black walnuts I could ever.
All the black walnuts you could ever eat. Mm-hmm. By the way, send some to me. I like them. Let's see. Next. Slide. Put up the slide, Dusty. Okay. So you didn't do EQI alone. You just did. There's a couple other guys that we haven't heard from in a while, and maybe
Tech
you can.
Rat and LTT
Tech Rat and
Moose,
LTT Moose.
Oh, what a picture!
Yeah. So what happened to these guys? I haven't heard from Tech in forever. And LTT Moose, I know, was working at NASA when you guys stopped.
Yep.
So
Goddard Space Flight Center.
Can you bring us up to speed on what's happening with the guys?
Well, LTT Moose is me and him were talking about going to Hollywood together, doing all this stuff, and then he started getting cast in plays out in Baltimore, where he lives, and he started doing better things with NASA. And I think he just he saw a lot of things that he was getting very satisfied with, from a creative standpoint, that he wasn't getting. So I think that he got all the creative stuff that he needed. He didn't feel like he needed to leave his job to come pursue it. And Tech Rat works for an underground military operation and is allowed to see the light of day. No, I mean, Tech Rat, I think that there was a lot of pressure on things going on, and I think that he, like me, saw the logical end to what we had been doing, especially when the live stream contracts for a lot of the conventions was kind of expiring. We didn't really see our purpose in the fandom anymore, and so he's like, okay, I'm going to go back to being an observer on the fandom. I'm not going to jump in. I'm going to still be part of it. I'm going to still be an observer on that. I think I was the only one who thought, I can still do this, just solo wise. And the others, they like being a part of the team. And so I think that everyone, we left in a good spot. And everything, I think everyone got the experience that they wanted and needed out of the fandom. And then, like I said, when it reached its logical end, it reached its logical end. And I would love for Tech Rat and LTT Moose to come back if they want, but, everyone's got to balance time.
Oh, yeah,
everyone's got to balance what they're going to commit to this fandom. And when it starts becoming work and stops becoming fun, then that's when you really need to, if you're making money and it feels like work, well, then duh, it's work. But if it's for fandom stuff and you're not getting the satisfaction out of it, then end on a high note. And good for them.
Yeah, it is good for them. I just haven't heard from him in a while. I'm sort of worried about him. Tech Rat's a friend. I haven't seen hide nor hair of him. LTT Moose is a friend. I haven't seen hide nor hair. So guys, if you're out there watching, send me Ringling. I want to see what's going on.
And Tech Rat, if you're in some sort of Pakistani or Ukrainian prison, send the code word 1248 and I will come. We will rescue you. We planned this, Tech Rat. Where are you?
Where are you, buddy?
I'm getting no signal. Snake.
None.
Snake.
Yes. That radio receiver in the back molder, we can crack that. We'll find you.
Yeah.
Turn it on.
Just don't get the other one. That's the cyanide.
No, that cyanide's on this side. Remember, the radio's on this side. Cyanide's on this side. Don't get mixed up.
Make some.
Okay. Let's see. Going back to novels. Okay, I'm going to put up another slide here because I've got you set up, baby. Let's see, where am I at? Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the slide up because I'm an idiot.
Is a slide.
I am. But anyway, here's the question. Now that you've got 2 books coming out next year.
Yep.
Right. Are we going to see M.A. Larson amounts of self-publication here? I mean, he's everywhere. It's like, buy my book, buy my book, buy my book.
You mean self-promotion?
Self-promotion.
It's not self-published.
Yeah, self-promotion.
The publisher is Curiosity Quills Press. They're a very good company. I suggest all your listeners look them up. They do mainly genre work, so it's all like comedy, science fiction, fantasy. Definitely look them up. They're awesome people. Curiosity Quills Press. In terms of self-promotion, I've already done that. So those of you who follow my
here's some self-promotion. Here's some self-promotion right now. Because you told me at the beginning of the show that we can actually announce one of these books.
Yep.
Right? And the title of that book is...
Alice Takes Back Wonderland.
Alice Takes Back Wonderland, which sounds incredibly full of explosions and John Woo films.
Lots of explosions. It is the Avengers of Fairy Tale.
Avengers of Fairy Tale Land.
Yes.
Wow. I'd really love to hear some of that.
You would love to hear some
I would love to hear some of that.
Well, I just got clearance from my publisher, Curiosity Quills Press. They said that, you know what, go ahead and promote Alice Takes Back Wonderland, which will be coming into bookstores and Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Look for it. Spring 2015.
Wow, like they're following Hasbro or something.
Well, I had the cover art to show, but then it wasn't going the right direction, so we kind of had to move it. So I think that's pushed the publication back a little bit.
Oh, there you go.
Otherwise, it'd have an exact release date. But I'm thinking, sometime in spring 2015, I'll give you an exact date when it comes. But I got the clearance to read a section.
Give me some. Give me some, because I'm salivating. I want to know.
Okay, now just to set up where this is not the beginning of the book, and like I said, the plot is the book is Alice Takes Back Wonderland. The short plot is Alice has to work with Peter Pan and a number of other fairy tales to assemble an army to take back Wonderland from the evil Ace of Spades. That's the plot. So this section here is right before they're going to head back to Wonderland. Okay. And this is where they're assembling the group. So I'll just go ahead and read from it.
Read some of that.
I'm going to get some water.
Okay.
Jack motioned beyond the robot to the army that lay encamped beneath the beanstalk. They rose to greet us. There were steel-clad knights beneath the Golden Cup banner. A man armed with a great axe who was half as tall as Jack's robot riding a blue ox big as a house. Revolver-wielding miscreants led by a coonskin-capped warrior, spitting and heckling as they fired their pistols in celebration of our arrival. There was a company of bronze-shielded soldiers marching under a golden fleece. A diminutive woman in a fleur-de-lis embroidered armor with a flamethrower strapped to her back. 2 knights with golden halos about their heads bearing lances with their tips carved in the shape of dragons. A golden-crowned, marble-skinned warrior, statue-like in his regality, waved a curved sword in greeting. Beside him was another regal figure who held a leashed minotaur, a man with a thick table leg wearing armor that looked like it was made entirely out of tables, and a lion-skinned draped man with curly black hair whose thick muscles glowed as he gripped a massive club. He rode a winged sky-blue horse that whinnied with anticipation as she flew her rider beside the giant robot. They greeted Cinderella, but they were staring at me. When I saw them, I raised the Vorpal sword. We fought Ace alone. We thought there was no one who could unite us. Now we come at the call of the sleeping beauty reawakened.
I don't know about you guys. I don't know about you out there in the viewing audience. But I want to know how that happened. How did that get there? I want to know. Because that is fucking awesome. I can see it now. And all of a sudden, gas explosions, John Woo film breaks out. I can see it.
Yeah. Totally like just Alice with a sawed-off shotgun fighting people with a sword. I mean, it's nice. It literally what I started out wanting to do with it was I love the concept, and if any of you have read the graphic novel, don't even forget the movie, but the graphic novel and everything of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah.
I just loved that concept, where when Tom Sawyer teaming up with Dr. Heckle, or Dr. Jekyll, and it's just all these literary characters coming together. And I thought, let's do that with fairy tales. No one's done that before.
Why not?
And let's make it work. And Alice obviously was the best platform to do that, because she goes to Wonderland, and in Wonderland that's where all the fairy tales are.
Yes.
So it makes sense.
Makes sense. I like it. Okay. Let's see. Now the huge question, the big question.
I've got chills. Big question.
Just who should be the voice of Starsworld Bearded?
Now you just revealed something that I was thinking about last night, because I am a fan of the Starsworld the Bearded is Discord fan canon. I'm a fan of that theory. I enjoy that theory mainly. And I was actually deconstructing why that theory exists. And here's actually the reason I think it exists. It's because Starsworld the Bearded is an awesome character, and the problem is we don't have any character from the present show who could be him. And it's sort of like we want him to be a part of the present show, not just some ancient character that died ages ago. We want to feel like he's a part of the present show. And the only way to do that is if he turned into Discord. That's the only way, because, think about it. There's no other character that exists in the show right now that he could have turned into. So that means
that as a fan-in concept sort of works. But I lost my ear.
Therefore,
but the thing is, if you're going to make more money, as Hasbro want to do, you don't want to have 2 characters be the same, because there's no merchandising there, right? So I'm thinking that maybe in season 5 or 6, or 7, you might have another time spell from the Star Swirl the Bearded Wing. And I don't know if you guys have seen one of the covers of. In fact, I think I have it. No, I don't have it here. But one of the covers of the comic book is the great and powerful Trixie using a time spell to come out of a portal to get Star Swirl the Spirited's autograph, which is kind of cool when you think about it.
That is awesome.
It's kind of an awesome concept. But what would happen if they wrote a story where they need an answer to a problem that only Star Swirl the Bearded knows because he didn't finish his notes, and they can't figure it out? So basically, you have to go back in time to ask him personally because the death of Equestria is on the line because Star Swirl the Bearded didn't finish a note or something.
You know, I have 2 answers for that, and I'm going to stick with one as my first one. The first thing is I want Peter New to voice him because I think that Peter New should voice him, and it would be awesome.
not Jean-Luc Picard?
Oh, gosh. I didn't even think of that.
Oh, come on. Right?
You just blew my mind.
Discord and Q and Jean-Luc Picard going back and forth.
No, that's brilliant. I'm on board. I'm on board. And if you can't get Picard, get Worf. Like if Patrick Stewart's too expensive, I don't know if Worf is doing anything.
Well, Ian McKellen. Just have him pull out Gandalf.
You're throwing out too many. You're throwing out too many names that I would just geek out in general. Being
it's that one of them. That's it, right?
Yeah.
So next, now as a writer.
I think you should voice.
What do you think of the story of Daring Do being a real pony and the alter ego of GM Barrow?
Okay, being a real pony and the alter ego of GM Barrow.
Yeah.
You mean like Daring Do is a real pony in real life?
Well, no. What do you think? Now, we haven't actually talked about this, but in the Daring Do episode where it's revealed that A.K.A. Yearling is Daring Do, right? As a writer, do you think that was a valid concept? Do you think they should have done that?
No, I love it. 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 I think it's awesome because it's so perfect. It's such a cyclical way of telling Rainbow Dash's story. This idea that she is this, she doesn't think of herself in this high and mighty manner, but she actually is. And then, A.K.A. Yearling is this diminutive person, but she's actually Daring Do. But it's a great thing for Rainbow Dash to be able to empathize with. Here's her hero in living flesh, but she's also this subdued writer. My only problem with the Daring Do thing, it always just seems to me, and I wrote the EQI making fun of this because, like, where the heck is Celestia when they're trying to raise the sun?
Trying to bring 800 years of unrelenting heat. Where's Celestia?
Yeah, I control the sun. This doesn't work.
It doesn't work, baby.
Read your and so that I just had this brilliant idea of just Celestia seeing all these problems and just laughing and like, oh, I actually hope your plans succeed because then I can make fun of you.
Then
as
I can
I
make fun of you.
Lower the sun.
Yeah.
Because I'm Celestia. Deal with it. And then of course Daring Do retiring because she's like, why am I working so hard?
Yes. And then of course as a writer, have you've seen the Daring Do box set?
Yes.
Oh my God, have you seen this thing in person?
It is brilliant.
It is brilliant from a marketing standpoint. I mean, if you were a writer, say Alice Takes Wonderland, right? Could you imagine having them do a box set like this?
Put my books in a box.
Yeah.
Charge people for that box. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is, I mean, I can't believe, I couldn't even think about GM Barrow sitting around saying, hey, we're thinking about printing your books like this. What do you think?
And she's saying,
and she's like vibrating, It's like, no, I don't like that at all, but go ahead and do whatever you like.
Right.
Yeah, no.
It's like a pirate box.
It does. It's a pirate box, man. It's a freaking pirate box with treasure. Yeah. It's cool. So, before we go to break, what one cartoon, one would you like to write for?
Oh, gosh.
You only get one.
One cartoon. Okay. I'm going to, currently on air?
You know what? Let's just say all the way back in the dawn of history, the cartoons. What one cartoon series would you want to write? And don't say Ed, Edd, and Eddy. You can't say that one.
Can't say Ed.
Because we know that.
They didn't have writers.
They didn't have writers, for one.
Artists.
They storyboarded and then they made it, so.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You know what? There's part of me that wants to say Gravity Falls, but there's probably a part of me that would love to write a Time Squad episode. Ooh. I think I'm going to have to say Time Squad.
Time Squad.
Because I love history.
Yes.
I love talking about history and everything. I'd love to write a Time Squad episode because then I could go to like an awesome period of history and showcase history, teach kiddos, and have a funny Buck Russell. And my words would be spoken by Mark Hamill, who is the voice of that robot that I'm doing a horrible impression of him right now.
Yes.
Yeah, that you know, he's like a gay Joker kind of thing.
He has to be more fabulous than the Joker.
He's fabulous. Joker. I'd love to see fabulous Joker.
Fabulous Joker. Yes. So with that, we're gonna go off to commercial. So when we come back from commercial, we'll go over. We don't have any more conventions this year, so we'll start talking about next year. Yeah. And then we'll go over charity work, and then we'll get Screwball in the call so that all of you out there can ask this gentleman anything you want to know about writing or EQI, or we'll just BS for another hour.
Or tables.
Yeah, so we could do that. We probably will. So
I didn't want to talk tables.
Hang around. We'll be back in a minute.
Are you tired of the high-pressure sales tactics from rank amateur merchants? Are you tired of shady characters trying to take you and your bits for a ride? Would you really rather be shopping in a glorified flea market? Don't want to pay Canterlot prices? Avoid the bucksters and the snake oil salesman. Come to Ponyville's oldest family-run business, Rich's Barnyard Bargains. You'll find us at the corner of Appleton Way and Stirrup Street. Look for the billboards. You can't miss them. There, you will find a warm, brightly lit, and friendly atmosphere. We have everything from alfalfa to Zap Apple Jam.
Look at all that stuff!
Oh yes, we carry home improvement supplies and tools for all those last-minute weekend projects. And remember, Rich's Barnyard Bargains. If it ain't filthy and it ain't stinking, then it ain't rich.
That's right, ponies. If John Woo comes to Ponyville and starts setting up gas bombs to film his latest, go to Rich's Barnyard Bargains for everything you need to fix all of that damage. All of it. He's got thatch, he's got hammers, he's got nails, he's got goo gone.
At discount price.
At discount prices. And remember, if it's not filthy and it's not stinking, what is it not? It's not rich. And we're back with one David Hammons.
Good evening.
Good evening, Ponyville.
Again.
Yes. So, let me get the script up here because I'm like eating Smarties and not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I think I was a professional or something. Okay, convention season. Convention season is over. Over! I'm crying. There isn't any left. None. Grand Galloping Gala for EQLA was actually last weekend, which was, I think, the last thing that was going on. So that's cool. But now we can all rest and recuperate and relax. And start our new projects for next year.
Yay!
Yay! Because what's coming up? April? BabsCon. BabsCon is back. April 3rd through 5th, 2015. They've already got awesome guests. John Delancey and Kathy Wisluck will be there. Art, vendor, panel, and event applications close later this week. So if you want to do something at BabsCon, get over there and make an application, and they'll let you do something. But they need applications for all that stuff, including if you're a vendor, get it in now. And on top of that, they're going to have an art show this year. So if you're an artist and want to hang art in an art show, then contact them. You get all the details. Then Everfree Northwest, which is May 29th to 31st, 2015, already also has John Delancey, but they also have Nicole Oliver and Tabitha St. Germain. So they got the big three: Discord, Princess Celestia, and Princess Luna. Who else could they get in that time? Wow, that's a good lineup already. That's a triple beautiful thing there, I'm telling you. They also have an art contest going on, so go over to their website, everfreenw.com, for more information on their art, and they're looking for volunteers to work on the show. So if you feel like volunteering, get over there and also apply for that stuff. Okay, so charity work. Last show we had Dr. Wolf. Wonderful Dr. Wolf was here. We talked about all kinds of good stuff, but his charity was the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And we did wonderful with that one. We did 652 bits for them. That's awesome. Thank you very much, everybody, for your help. That one hits pretty close to home for our fandom. We know that. So that was a good deal. And then check the website later. We're going to get all of our tallies for the last few charities together, and hopefully we're going to break 50K real soon. So either this one or the next one is going to be really close. So giveaways for that one was the Nightmare Nights shirt, just like the one I'm wearing, but this one's in purple.
Show it to
Show
him.
it right there. Nightmare Nights shirt. This one was given to us by Buttons. Thank you, Buttons. And then a Silver Slinger dog tag Discord, also given to us by Buttons. Thank you, Buttons. And I will slip in there a secret Shipfic folder card, the mustache competition. That is mine. I'll slip one of those in there. And a box of Smarties, because I've got 54 of these things, which I can't eat all of them.
That's the biggest prize.
Yes, the biggest prize is the box of Smarties from me, my favorite candy, brought by Margin Lion. Thank you very much, my buddy. And because we cracked 500 bits, this Petty Whirl Academy hardcover book right here. Beautiful art inside. Signed to you, Stay Princessy, my friends, by M.A. Larson. So if you win that, you get this too. And I have a hat full of names. Where do we go? We're going to dig in a hat full of names. And we'll take this one. Yeah. Subtle Wind, you haven't won in a while. Thank you very much. You get the prizes, my friend. So we'll get your mailing address once again, and we'll get that out to you next week. Thank you very much for your support, and everybody else out there for your support on everything we like to do around here to help other people, because helping other people is what? It's awesome. And so we're going to move on to Dave's charity.
Yeah.
And Dave's charity is Opportunity International.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to read a little bit around here that we wrote up. The deck is stacked against most people in the poorest parts of the world, where the saying is, it takes money to make money. In the harsh fact that traps most people into the cycle of poverty, there isn't any. So, Opportunity International, through its many local projects, is breaking people out of these traps by restoring vital neighborhood businesses in the wake of disasters, by teaching how to run a business, and by providing the seed money to make dreams of financial independence a reality for women in countries that refuse to educate females, and for other people in the poorest parts of Africa and other places. Opportunity International lifts people into better lives. It's amazing how far a few bucks can go, and we're going to get there. So, we are going to give away this pile of stuff over here. And put my Smarties away, because you're not getting that bag of Smarties. That's what I'm running. We're going to give away one IDW comic. This is part 3 of 4, the Good Sombra arc. I know that Screwball is going to love that one.
Screwy loves it.
Screwy loves it. Yep. So that is a beautiful comic book right there. What else do we got? Oh, I think we'll throw in a dog tag, because I still got some of these. So dog tag. We're going to throw in another box of Smarties from Margin Line. I'll throw in another secret Shipfic card right there, mustache competition with moi on it. Now, we break 500 bits. That's for anything. Anything at all. You get that pile of stuff. And probably some other stuff I got in a box upstairs. I got a lot of little tchotchke stuff that I throw in the boxes.
It's got Tech Rat up there.
Anybody, I got Tech Rat in a box upstairs. But you don't get Tech Rat. You know, that's where I get my comedy from, is Tech Rat's in a box writing for me. Hey, it works. But if we break 500 bits, you're going to get this DVD, which is Keys of Friendship. Right there, that DVD. Rarity Takes Manhattan, Pinkie Apple Pie, It Ain't Easy Being Breezy's, Twilight Kingdom 1 and 2. Right there. So that you're going to get. But not only that. Our good friend, Charlotte Fullerton, has sent me oodles of things to give you guys. So we'll also send out this, because it's a writer day, this cover of a script that she wrote, signed by her, right there.
Look at that.
Look at that. It says, Stay Brony, my friend, Charlotte Fullerton, 2014. This is My Little Pony, Opposites Attack, episode 008. Story by Charlotte Fullerton, Locked Polish, January 14th, 2010. And she put the note here, it is the working title of Look before you sleep. So that will also go to you. Signed.
That's a piece of Brony history.
That's a piece of Brony history right there.
Frame that.
Yeah, I got like more of those. She sent me so much stuff you wouldn't believe, Dave. Believe the stuff she sent me. She's such an awesome, awesome person. If you aren't watching Ben 10 or any of those other shows she's doing, go watch those.
Yeah, if you like Ben 10, she's basically running Ben 10.
She's basically running Ben 10. That's why I couldn't get her on the show forever.
Yeah.
Because she was like, I've got like a day now I can be on the show.
Super busy with Ben 10.
Yes. So all of that for 500 bits or more. And I'm sure we're going to break that. So, and everything else that's been won has been boxed, except for one person who hasn't gotten back to me yet. So I'm still working on you. But everything else has been boxed and should go out by next week. So if you're waiting for stuff for me, it's either in the mail or it's coming soon. So, trust me. One other thing.
And can I? Okay, go ahead. I want to make sure I sell the charity.
Okay, you sell the charity right now. I'm going to sit back and have a drink.
The charity is just Opportunity National. I know it might not be a subject that a lot of people are familiar with. There's this concept called microfinancing.
Yes.
And if you look at a lot of people in the poorest parts of the world, you can, there's that that proverb, teach a man to fish and he'll never go hungry, versus just give a man a fish, he's eaten for a day. This is the teaching people to fish concept. It's the idea that we're giving you the ability to encourage you to get yourself out of poverty, not just throw money at a problem, which will dry up. And then, this is the idea that the best way to get people out of poverty is to lift up their own economies so they can be self-sustaining.
Right.
Because we don't want Ethiopia, Kenya, or whatever. We don't want these countries to be impoverished forever. We want them to be good economies. We want them to do well. I mean, look at what China, how many a billion people are now having a better way of life because they've been able to have economics lift them out of poverty. And so we want to bring that to the places where literally a $10 loan or a $100 loan. Imagine someone who had just like I saw this thing. I have an MBA, and so we learned all about microfinancing. The guy won a Nobel Prize for this. And so the idea was this lady, she wanted to make stools and sell them at the local market. And they cost like $2. She was going to charge $2. She had to spend like $5 to get enough necessary materials to make her stools. So she got a loan for $5 because she had zero access to money anywhere. And then she takes that, she makes all of her stools with the money that she needs to get the materials. She sells them. She makes maybe $10. She pays off the $5 loan. Bam, she's got $5 in her pocket. How much better is it that person can do every day, go make that $5 versus someone just say, hey, here's $100, buy it. So that's the idea. It's allowing people to have that opportunity that they wouldn't otherwise have.
Yes, microloan finance is some hugely good stuff. I mean, it's been around for what, about 5 years now, Dave? 5 or 6 years?
Yeah, it's relatively
new. But take a really good look at microfinance loans, and you'll find some good stuff being done out there in the world. So moving on, I want to remind you guys one more time, because this is the last time I'm going to remind you, because it'll be over by the time we come back, that Jim Burrow, our good friend Jim Burrow, is running a contest. Draw or depict any scene or character from any of the 3 new Daring Do books, right? Any of the 3 new Daring Do books.
In the box.
Yep, and get that to her Twitter by November 25th, which is like Monday coming up, I think. She will announce the winner on Thanksgiving. So, do something, anything fun, draw, costume, whatever, and you know what you're going to win? Her own Daring Do plushie from Kitty Corral, signed by her.
The plushie off her back.
The plushie off her back is what you're going to win. And actually, if you guys go to any of these conventions, right, and she brings books to sign, she has to pay for all that herself, right? So if you're getting stuff from her, it's coming out of her own pocket. Her generosity to get you guys stuff it's all from her. And she's a wonderful person, and we want to support her and her books. So buy her books, because they're good, they're awesome, and if you buy the books, the publisher's going to go, those books are selling. I wonder if we should make more. Duh! Yeah, let's make more. Like more Daring Do. Like more.
I think GM Burrow is, she's A.K.A. Yearling, but I think she's rarity at heart.
I think she is.
She's so super generous.
Super generous. Super Jenny. Yes. She's good. So, if you, Princess Celestia book's coming out, Fluttershy book's coming out, Luna's book's coming out, probably. I'm just assuming. We know the Fluttershy's coming out, but if these books are popular, which they are, she's probably going to go on down the line, do the princesses, and then she'll do Vinyl Scratch, and then she'll do Octavia, and then she'll be on and on and on and on. But you guys got to buy the books that make that happen.
She'll do a Discord book, but then you open it up and it'll be crossword puzzles.
Yeah, it'll be crossword puzzles. And you have to finish. You know what? You have to finish the crossword puzzles to actually read the story.
Yeah, and the book is in crossword puzzle form.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see that.
And then it's Sudokus.
Yes. I can't do Sudoku to save my life. I can't.
No,
I tried.
I can't either. I can't even do it at all.
Can't even do it. But you know who's missing? You know who's missing right now?
Who's missing?
Screwball is missing.
Screwball!
Screwball is missing.
Set in the Screwball hole!
Screwball!
Yes?
Oh, there he is.
Oh, wait, you just say you can't play Sudoku?
No, I can't.
I love
can't
Sudoku.
Even pronounce Sudoku.
See, that's why you're the brains of this operation, my friend.
Wait, but I'm the brains. That's funny.
You're the brains of this whole thing.
Oh, this whole thing.
Because I can't do Sudoku.
I got a Twilight pint glass, by the way. I've got a Rainbow Dash in a Discord. Did you get that at this year's BronyCon or the
this
last
is actually not even mine.
Ah.
This belongs to Nathan. This is Nathan. Nathan has the entire set. I have Rainbow Dash.
Ooh.
So this is Nathan's. So I have to make sure I don't drop it or anything. But yeah, he has the whole set. So we do have the whole set in the house.
The only thing I have that comes close is a big Macintosh canteen.
I've got a huge tumbler. I got a huge beer tumbler that has Sweet Apple Acres on it, which is awesome.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's good. But normally when I find the guys who do this, it's in Milwaukee. There's no way I can get 6 of those home without breaking them.
No.
So I'm sort of waiting until BabsCon rolls around. So hopefully the people that do this come to BabsCon so I can buy them locally and get them home.
Don't they have any websites or anything like that?
I don't know.
It's a toughie to find.
I'm too busy. I'm too busy doing stuff.
All you artist people sell Dusty.
Yes.
MLP related cider
glasses. Yeah.
Cider paraphernalia.
That's what I mean. Cider paraphernalia. Oh, AC. AC Race Best, what do you want? Sending out the usual reminder that I need footage by this Thursday for the react. Yes, I know, AC. I'm in the middle of a show now.
Come on.
Leave me alone.
Come on.
Come on.
You know what we need?
What?
We need AC Race Best.
We do. We need to get AC Race Best on the show. What do you guys think out there? What do you guys think out there in the chat? Should we get AC Race Best on the show?
I say yeah.
Should we get him and Saberspark on the same show?
Oh, that's how the internet breaks.
That's how the internet breaks, I think.
Well, not here for a month afterwards.
Yeah, we won't be here for a month after that because they broke my show. Kind of thing. So anyway, we're here. I'm sure those wonderful viewers out there have some questions for us.
Yes.
So start sending them down the line, man.
Oh my god. So this one is from Mason Elcat.
Mason L. What? Mason! What's up, buddy?
He actually just had to leave for something. I think he'll be back shortly.
Oh, no, okay.
I know the one time, but question for Joe: mocked any llamas lately?
I have mocked lots of llamas repeatedly, and he's referencing the title of my book.
Yes.
Which is before I got really published, I got self-published.
Yes.
Which is free to do. Publishing is much harder to do. Anybody can put a book up on Amazon, which I did because I'm anybody.
Yes.
And it's a book I put up based on my real life story of my trip to Peru, where I was on the side of Machu Picchu and a couple of llamas started humping each other. and so that's sort of the inspiration for the book. Yes. And so you can get it on Amazon right now. It's a Kindle book. You can go on Amazon.com, type in Joe Stevens Mocks a Llama, and it should be there. It's still got 5-star reviews. So very happy.
I might actually have something to buy for my Kindle, which I don't have anything to buy for.
I know, and it's great.
I've had a Kindle forever, and I think I've got 3 technical books on it, and that's it.
I bought the entire works of Edgar Allan Poe for 99 cents.
Wow.
Now I have all of Edgar Allan Poe on my little tablet. So it's like whenever I just bring that anywhere I'm in an airport, whatever, it's like, oh, look, I'll read a short story by Edgar Allan Poe. There you go.
Done. Nice.
I'm sneaking past it right now. My mom dropped us some pasta. I'm just like, oh, you look so good.
Your mother tortures you, dude.
She does.
Every time we're in the middle of a show, she brings you food and sets it in front of you.
She sets it right there.
And probably grins evilly as she walks out the door.
What did she bring you? Pie?
Actually, now this isn't really. I have no idea what this is, but it's like some kind of like spinach, and it looks exactly shaped like a pie.
Ooh.
Spinach pie.
Spinach pie.
It must be like a spinach pie or something, but whatever it is, it's just like, I want to eat you, but then you're going to hear like, oh, this is so good.
Screw me. No chomping on the show.
Actually, also from Mason L-Cat, real question is, are you working on any new books?
Well,
I am.
Yes.
I just finished a science fiction on Thursday. So last Thursday. So I'm currently in the process of editing. It's a space opera, which those of you who know the genre, that means basically
Star Wars.
Star Wars, yes, type stuff. So it's like a Star Wars kind of thing. And I also got a middle grade fantasy, which is basically like Harry Potter stuff. Both of those are being pitched to publishers and agents. And if I get a contract on those, I will make an announcement. But right now, they're currently under the review process.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's fun. So yeah, I'm definitely working my tushy off.
Yes.
Working my hindquarters off. Writing every day, getting those books out there because I want to eat.
Yeah.
So this is from Trailblaze to you, Joe. What is your favorite story that you have covered from Ponyville?
I think, and this is probably the thing that giggles me the most, is the fact that my first story I ever wrote is so much, I've gotten so much mileage out of that. I still think that my very first story I ever wrote is my absolute favorite story I've ever covered, which is the Sonic Rainbow Dash is declared a weapon of mass destruction.
Yes.
So I think that my entire career is devoted to the silliness of that headline.
Yeah.
The fact that I literally just typed that into an email, sent it off to Seth, and he posted it on the front page of EQD. I mean, how crazy is that? That in the body of an email wasn't even formatted right. It wasn't even Microsoft Word. It was just like a block of text, and he put it on the front page, and I owe my entire status in the fandom. So thank you, Seth. Every time I see him at convention, I'm like, yes, Seth, love you so much. And I think I've gotten so much mileage out of that story, and it continuously. And the reference to the fact that I love this line. I can still remember it. I'm gonna miss it, do it wrong, but it was like the equestrian government, the Saudi Arabian government, and the Chinese People's Republic Army or whatever. And so the fact that I throw in China in there as one who's also declaring Rainbow Dash a weapon of mass destruction, that's always been my favorite.
Well, what was absolutely hilarious about that is that you were actually going to China on business to talk walnuts. And you actually filmed yourself in China in a business meeting and worked that into the freaking story.
I was at a meeting with the governor, with the governor of Missouri and the governor of Hebei province, China. Yeah. And I was filming it for my Equestrian Inquirer bit. And I used some of that footage in my Equestrian Inquirer bit.
It was a freaking stream.
I sang the theme song to a cab driver in Hong Kong.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Oh my goodness!
Although I think the favorite thing that my favorite thing that you guys ever did was covering the princess election in 2012.
Yes. Oh, that was
we got so much mileage out of that on this show.
Oh yeah, if I could think of the high point of our entire, I don't want to say career, but our time, the high point of the high points for us, other than BronyCon 2012, just that convention is aside, our high point was definitely the election night. Yeah. When we recorded, we wrote and recorded two separate speeches, one for Luna and one for Celestia. And if Romney won the election, we were going to play the Luna speech. And if President Obama won the election, we were going to play the Celestia speech. And we recorded both. And somewhere, I might be able to find that acceptance speech from Luna and put it on YouTube.
Oh, that would be hilarious! That would be great.
What could have happened?
What could have happened? Alternate history. Yes. Yeah. EQI. You know what you can do with EQI alternate history? Edition with what if Luna won?
I think the best.
You know what you should do is you should bring that out on the next election because we won't be having Obama anymore. So
there you go.
Have that come out on that election after it wins. Then you could put Luna's support. It's like this is what could have happened.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yes, we could be. Yeah,
that's good.
Maybe the next time it'll be like Celestia is stepping down, so it's going to be Twilight versus.
Twilight versus Luna.
No, Twilight versus Cadence or something like that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You gotta have a three-way. Twilight is the new candidate for Celestia's party. Luna's coming back to run against her, but Princess Cadence is the independent.
The Green Party.
The Green Party.
Curse you, Ralph Nader.
Curse you.
That's good.
Of course, we're making all these political jokes, and none of these kids are getting it.
Well, I got it. We have a Green Party too.
I know you do, but I'm talking about our viewers.
Yeah. Hey, they're politically active. Let's hope. Let's pretend that
we know that you all know what's going on in the political climate of your countries.
And
if you don't, figure it out. So it's important. Next.
One second. Oh, here we go. So this one's from Silverhoof. Question for our guest: in your novel writing, is there any one writer that influences you the most in your style?
Yes, I would say C.S. Lewis is my biggest aspirational novelist. Not necessarily because of his plots, but that is definitely a big deal. The stories that he writes are just amazing. His syntax. If you just deconstruct the way that man builds a sentence, it is the most. I could listen to it. He's like the Morgan Freeman of writers. Like Morgan Freeman has the beautiful voice. C.S. Lewis has the beautiful words. Whatever he writes is just like crystal glass music, like crystal ringing in your ear every time you read a sentence that man writes. If you guys, it's not as well known as Narnia, but he wrote a science fiction trilogy. And the second book, and it's very well done. It's a science fiction trilogy. He actually made a bet with J.R.R. Tolkien. He said that, well, we both did, so after basically creating the fantasy genre between the two of them, they said, hey, let's do science fiction now. And they had an agreement that Tolkien would write a time travel novel, or series of novels, and C.S. Lewis would write space travel series of novels. Tolkien never got around to doing his before he passed, but C.S. Lewis wrote his trilogy of space travel. And it's amazing. Out of Silent Planet's the first one, but the second one's like Perelandria, and that book is the most beautiful. Those two books are the most beautifully written books ever, and so I would aspire to be able to construct a sentence the way that C.S. Lewis does.
You know, Dave. I'm going to stop it right here, but you have to actually have a second initial for your name, because we've got, of course, C.S. Lewis.
Yeah.
Right. M.A. Larson.
Right.
Right. G.M. Barrow.
Right.
A.K.A. Yearling.
Fantasy writers like initials, don't they? Yeah.
They love initials, so therefore you need to be what? D.D. Hammons?
Well, I thought about this. I actually thought long and hard about this, and my official author name, the one that's going to be on my books, and I had to change Joe Stevens' Moxalama after I did this, but it is David D. Hammons.
Yes.
I decided I don't like D.D. Hammons. It makes me look like a dentist. And I don't like David Hammons because David Hammons is the name of a black rights activist artist in Harlem, who is most famous for writing a portrait of the white Martin Luther King Jr. And so, not that I don't want to be associated with him, but I gotta Google search. Google's got to find me, and so I threw in my middle initial in there. Which I thought, David D. Hammons. So that's what I go. That's my official name. It's David D.
Hammons. Yes.
I'm calling you Double D Hammons.
You can call me Double D. I actually thought about that just as an homage to Ed and Eddie, putting
Double D Hammons.
D and putting like a little lowercase e in there, so I'd be like E double D. Double D Hammons.
Yeah, there you go.
Just as a little reference. I'm sure Sam Vincent would have loved that.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Come on, there we go. Ooh.
What?
Wait 1 second, just making sure I'm reading this right.
Question about tables.
Oh, here we go. This is for fudge cakes. What can I speak to? This is from Spike Firemain. Question to you, Joe. Could you what were some funny moments interviewing the VAs at the different conventions?
Oh gosh, name one that wasn't funny. I mean, every single one was just amazing. I think probably I'll tell this story because it always blows me away when I did it. BronyCon 2012 was our get out of the trial by fire moment. We none of us had done live interviews before. None of us had done any of that. thank the Lord that Amy King Rogers was our first interview, because she was so sweet and so amazing. But I remember after, LTT Moose was like our producer. He had this binder, and he was putting all together the names we were going to interview. Mm-hmm. And I was very much aware that a lot of these people had never been interviewed before, so I knew what the stakes were. It's like the big stakes. Mm-hmm. So they say, all right, we're going to have you interview BronyCon documentary people at X time. So we show up at the BronyCon interview at the time that we're supposed to. And in BronyCon 2012, for those of you who were there, it was the Meadowlands Convention Center. There's this big, the green room was upstairs. There was this big central area and a staircase that led up to it. Mm-hmm. And so we're standing by the staircase waiting for who we're going to interview. And I don't know who we're interviewing for. And we got standing with our camera and everything. I say, hey, who are we interviewing again? And they say, oh, you're interviewing John. I say, excuse me? And as I say that, down the stairs comes John Delancey. Mm-hmm. Now, I am a huge Star Trek Next Generation fan. And Q is literally my favorite villain of all time. Mm-hmm. And so here is a person who, like, I connected with my mother watching Star Trek, and so here's a image of my childhood walking down the steps, and I'm just like, I kind of inhaled, and we're like, okay, we got to do this. So he walks, all right, shake hands, well, big fan. And so we go upstairs, and I don't know if you watched that interview. My hand is holding up the mic, and I'm asking questions, and I'm doing it. I'm just staring at my hand. Mm-hmm. Shake. Don't you shake the microphone. My hand is shaking. And I'm looking at my hand. I'm like, don't you dare shake. You keep still, because he is talking into you, you hand. He's talking into the microphone, and you have to stay still, because if you shake, they will see how terrified you are right now. And so we got through the interview. John Delancey goes downstairs, and TechRat and LT Moose. All right, we got to go. We ran long on that interview. So we were supposed to interview Andrea Libman like now. So we got to go meet Andrea Libman on the other side of the convention center. So let's go. And they're walking down the stairs. Hold on, guys. Literally just like decompress at that moment. And I stand up. I say, okay, let's go. And so now I'm going to interview Andrea Libman. We get downstairs, and I see John Delancey walking through the crowd. And he's walking through the crowd. And I look at him. I'm like trailing him a little bit. And I'm like, he has no handlers, but no one's swarming him. Yeah. Like, people just kind of walking past him. They're just walking. What's happening? And I asked the people, like, what's happening? What's happening? And they say, oh, there's a fire. There's a fire going on right now. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, there's a fire back there. I look back to our cameraman, and I say, let's go. And I shove him ahead of me, and we swivel the tripod, using it as sort of like a spear to swerve our way. We swim through the crowd with our tripod, just get out of the way, and we run back to the other end of the convention center. We put down the camera, and TechRat says to me, he says, Joe, what are you doing? There's a fire. We're told to evacuate. I say, no, we are filming this. He says, Joe, are you crazy? I say, yes, now start filming.
And to tell you the truth, I think it was the most brilliant piece of the very last minute that anybody covered it. I mean, it's like you guys said, okay, somebody has to document this. Let's do it.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't care if the building's coming down. We're putting the camera down, and we're filming this. Yes. And we're not turning that camera off until we get what's going on. And so I'm standing there filming, and all of a sudden there's a boom mic underneath me. And then, look, they're filming me. They're filming us filming the fire.
Yeah. So the documentary people filmed you guys filming the fire.
Right. I mean, I got a million interview stories, but that's probably my favorite.
I still think, you guys doing the stuff at Las Pegasus, Unicon, was a scream. I mean, you guys came up with all kinds of weird stuff, like, Peter New and you interviewed LTT Moose. And LTT Moose went off like a diva. It was freaking hilarious.
We had okay, I'll tell you the lost interview of Peter New. You want to know the lost interview?
Yeah. Let's story time.
Okay, so we had 3 interviews set up with Peter New. He came up to us. He said, "I love you guys because we did." Oh, remember when Everfree Northwest
in the shower.
In the shower. Loved the shower. Like, so Peter New is like shaving.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the curtain just pulls aside, and there's me and TechRat. And you're like, Peter New, and we just, like, without hesitation, like, not even acknowledging that it's a thing that we've been hiding in the shower. Yeah. And the interview, we just go back in the shower.
Yep.
And so he's like, I love doing that with you guys. That was awesome. So let's do more of that. So the first interview we do is legit, because it's been a year.
Yeah.
We needed, actual stuff. And the next one was Peter knew and LT Timu switched places, pretending to be one another, and that was funny. And so Peter's idea for the third one is like, all right, guys, here's the deal. I'm going to stand outside the casino. We're going to go outside. You're going to film me by the casino doors. I'm going to be like all disheveled and everything. My hat's going to be gone. I'm going to be like wearing a weird thing, and I'm going to be like, and we're going to be like, oh, Peter, like you walk by, like you're just filming, and you're like, and we're on the strip, and we're walking around, and oh look, oh wonderful, Peter, what are you doing here? And just like. And oh yeah, I lost all my money gambling. And I lost bid on my plane tickets. I can't get home, and we were going to make a bit of it where it was supposed to be funny that we just happened upon him and he's just lost all his money. And so when the thing hit the fan, Peter comes up to us and says, "Don't think we need to do that one."
No, that would be in poor taste, yes.
Oh my goodness.
So we canceled that.
That's such bad timing.
Yes. So any viewers out there who do not know, but you probably do, Las Vegas Unicon basically crashed and burned, and most of the voice actors did have their tickets already paid for to get home, but some didn't, and a lot of people, when the con couldn't pay everybody, it burnt a lot of bridges.
Yeah,
so,
everyone, including us, had to just rush to the hotel. I paid in cash because I'm like, I'm not getting them my credit card. I don't know what they're going to charge, for me and all that stuff. I mean, it was scary for a while.
It was a nasty weekend, and we all came together to make it good, and it was a Herculean effort by everybody.
And the funny thing, I love the fire drill happening and very ominous. It's like, get out. Get out!
Yeah, you had no idea they were going to let us back in at that point. It was Sunday, if I remember correctly. Crazy.
Yeah.
It was very scary.
Scary.
Even when Lee brought that up when we were doing the VIP party. I always remember just the feeling. It's like this may just be the very last PonyCon ever.
Yep, it was.
We had the manliest party ever, though. That was awesome. Dusty, you and Caradwin host amazing parties, and it was awesome.
Thank you. It's all Caradwin, trust me. I'm the face. He's the man. So, you remember, I've got the looks. You got the brains. Let's make lots of money. He's the brains. So, he's the man. So, next.
So this one's from Jamie. Thelwell Jamie. I know I say his name wrong most of the time. My very, very good friend Jamie. A question for you, Joe, is what episode or I guess for everyone, what episode got you into the show in the first place?
I kind of halfway answered this already. I was into the show before I ever watched it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I literally saw 3 names attached to it. I said James Woody Wooten, Lauren Faust, James Woody Wooten, who I knew from Ed, Ed and Eddie, Lauren Faust, who Powerpuff Girls and Fosters, and then Tara Strong from Powerpuff Girls and Fosters. And I said, those 3 names are attached to this cartoon. I'm going to be a brony. I am already a brony. And so what I did is I actually set aside some vacation time to become a brony.
That's awesome.
I was like, I'm going to be super obsessed with this show, so I need to prepare myself. I actually avoided watching it until I had some free time. And then I actually took some vacation time, drove down to New Orleans, and just watched it in coffee shops in New Orleans.
Wow!
Over the course of a week, and just
that's dedication, buddy.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
I thought I was a brony. No. David Hammons is a brony. I'm just this guy. No, I wouldn't take a week off of my vacation time, drive to New Orleans, and sit in a coffee shop drinking the black, watching the show on a laptop like I'm some hipster dude. No, I couldn't do that.
Well, I think Frenchman Street was quite the allure too. I think the brony thing was just kind of bonus. I've been planning a vacation for quite some time. So
okay. Now that we got that straight. Next.
Well, I don't think you answered. I don't think you two answered the question.
Everybody knows mine.
Most people know ours, honestly.
Everybody knows ours. It's like mine is when Rarity falls back on her bed and whines about not knowing what to wallow in as a horse. It's like
mine's
brilliant.
Finding out that Spike is voiced by Kathy Westluck, which I know her very well from Kid vs. Kat, so that's how I first got into it.
Brilliant.
Nope.
So this one is from
James, defender of all things, Brody.
Defender of all things. Scourge to soggy milk. I swear, I gotta have somebody draw something so I can actually put it up on the show. You know, with him standing majestically against a mountain with the cape flying and a box of cornflakes in his hoof.
Meanwhile, at the Mountain of Freedom.
Meanwhile.
Oh, so what James got for us?
I need to write that whole. I need to write that whole thing. I need to write Soggy Milk. I need to write where Soggy Milk's evil lair is, how he is, the whole thing. I need to like voice it. We should do like a radio play of James Justice versus Soggy Milk.
Moon Solace, she's a very good friend, and you never remember ages ago when she made that amazing like pose where we're together.
Yeah.
She says that she's totally on it.
Do it. I will use it on the show. It'll be awesome. But what does James Justice want to know today?
He has Krypton.
For you, Joe. Are there any comedians / news reporters that inspired the comedy of EQI?
Good question.
You know, you would think that there would be a lot of... Joe Stevens came from actually... This is going into a longer answer that than it probably needs to be, but Joe Stevens came from the Ed, and Eddie fandom.
Uh-huh.
I had started with the Gravy Inquirer, which was the exact same spiel and the exact same bit, but about Ed and Eddie. And my favorite story from there was like the Jawbreakers are laced with mutagen, which is why everyone's got like the giant tongues and everything. So I do stuff like that. And so I carried it over because I thought that, you know, and actually some people remembered it. So I kept the name and did that. And when I was deciding, okay, now I'm going to transition to video, I literally, the comedy of Joe Stevens is not that he is actually a comedian, it's that he is dead serious. Dead serious about really silly things. So I actually was more inspired. I actually ran various tests trying to decide what my voice would be. I ended up with, this is Joe Stevens with the Equestrian Inquirer. But I experimented with various types, and I started with sort of a British tone, sort of like a BBC reporter. You know, good evening and welcome to the Equestrian Inquirer. This just in from Ponyville, Rainbow Dash has been declared a weapon of mass destruction by the equestrian military in the People's Republic of China. You know, just saying it in a very BBC, tone-deaf voice. I thought that was hilarious. But I ended with the more intensity one because I thought it was easier because I can't do a British accent as well.
Wait. I'm getting echo.
Uh-oh.
I'm getting Joe Stevens echo. Wait.
Dusty!
No, what? Wait. I've got a second Joe Stevens. I do. I got a second Joe Stevens coming through the portal.
I'm inside my own mind.
I bet you are, because he's in my ear right now saying he needs to go live now. So, okay, well, here's Joe Stevens.
Thank you, Dustykatt. This just in. A long-lost document uncovered by Goldie Delicious and a burning duck has revealed that the Apple family is not, in fact, the Apple family. Their real name is Grapple. This came as quite a shock to the Apples or Grapples, but the document clearly shows next to the secret spell in the Necronomicon, Ectu Baratu so say the patriarch of this Grapple family. The G and R were smudged and thought lost, but upon closer examination after Pinkie Pie dropped a cupcake on it, turns out frosting is a great way to rejuvenate ancient documents. The Grapple truth was revealed. Granny Smith, matriarch of the rechristened Grapple family, has taken the change in stride, seeking to crossbreed apples with grapes to make grapple bushes. Her first attempts turned sentient and tried to eat apple bloom, however, and her second batch tasted like shoelaces. But now that they've cleared the orchard of trees and replaced them with grapple bushes, there's no doubt that the Grapple family will be able to once more make their apple-tasting grapes like their ancestors. Applejack, however, has not embraced the change, quoting, "I don't know who I am anymore!" She was last seen bucking countless inanimate objects in search for meaning. After bucking Sweetie Belle, always a soothing experience, Applejack thought she'd once more found her role, but it started feeling wrong about the fourth or fifth time. Big Macintosh, however, has embraced this part of his family and claims that the interpretation of their long-lost family name is not to make mixed fruits that taste awful on toast, but grapple as in to wrestle. As such, Big Macintosh has begun bucking his way through matches across Equestria, traveling with the Pony Wrestling Federation. He has stopped saying his trademark phrases, yup and nope, and replaced them with, oh yeah! I'm Joe Stevens, and this has been a news brief from the Equestria Inquirer. Back to you, Dustykatt.
Who was that handsome man?
Who was that handsome dude? I mean, really, through the space-time continuum, we had two, count them two, Joe Stevens. One live and one...
Someone call Christopher Nolan.
Someone call... It's Ponyception. We must go deeper. Yes. But another wonderful piece of news straight from the desk in Ponyville by one Joe Stevens.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful. So much fun. And with that, we are moving on. More questions for one Dave.
I think I didn't quite finish the last one.
Okay,
so...
and finish that one because your doppelganger broke in on me.
Right. And I'm still trying to figure out that newscaster's name. The guy who said good night and good luck. What was that guy's name?
That was wasn't that Walter Cronkite?
Walter Cronkite. I watched old footage of Walter Cronkite and I tried to imitate him as best I could because I thought if Walter Cronkite is saying Rainbow Dash is weapon of mass destruction, that would be the funniest thing ever.
It would.
So it's actually more Walter Cronkite. It kind of mixed with Stephen Colbert a little bit later on, but it began with Walter Cronkite.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, because I grew up with Walter Cronkite. I mean, my parents would sit me in front of the TV and we'd watch Vietnam updates for the first 5 or 6 years of my life.
Right, and he's the most trusted journalist in history of television.
Yeah,
so if he's telling you that Rainbow Dash is a weapon of mass destruction, he's got to be serious, right?
Quite.
And that's where I got the sign off too. So.
Yeah. Okay, next.
Oh, wait, one sec. Oh, yeah, I like this.
Okay.
This is from Whoolicious for you. Well, Alice Takes Back Wonderland come on tape. I want to hear you read the whole thing with that energy.
I would love to do the audio for my own book. I would love to do that because then I can be an actor without actually having to be an actor. Because, I mean, I like doing that sort of thing, but I haven't, a lot of times, here's the thing. If everyone buys the book paper, then the publisher will turn it into an audiobook. The way audiobooks work is it is somewhat costly to produce them, so they're only made for successful paper books.
But
he's got a bigger publisher than.
Okay, I was going to say because M.A. Larson's book was available as an audiobook the minute it came out.
That's Penguin, I think. Curiosity Quilts is my press. They're a smaller press. They are growing. They're doing great. So, like I said, support the publisher, Curiosity Quilts Press. Look up anything they have on Amazon. It's all good. In fact, I'll do a shout out to another guy who's a great author. The book is called The Book of Bart. It's a comedy about a demon, it's an award-winning. It was the only fiction humor book to be nominated for this award. I forget what the award was, but he's a comedy writer and it's brilliant. And so that's, so if Curiosity Quilts Press gets doing more, and if my books do sell more, then that's going to lead to bigger publications, and that could lead to an audiobook. And like I said, I'd love to do it. I would love to do it.
Cool. Send me some of it. I'll try. Next.
Oh. Ah, there we go. So this one is... actually, this one's also from James. I know a lot of people have asked you this before, but it must be asked live. Question for you, Joe. Where did the plank plushie come from?
The store. Where else?
My ex-girlfriend.
So she gave you a plank upside the head.
It was yes. It was a Christmas present, and God, I think my fiance. Hi, Jessica. I love you. My fiance, if you're listening, you can buy me a plank plushie. Unfortunately, they're out of circulation. But my ex-girlfriend regretfully indulged my love of cartoons, and my current fiance indulges alongside me in my love of Disney movies and Supernatural and all sorts of awesome geek stuff. We went to Comic-Con together. I was the most interesting man in the world, and we're cosplaying as Riker and Troy for the next Comic-Con, and so we're really excited about that. But it is an official Cartoon Network merchandise. It's official Cartoon Network merchandise. They sold them for a very short amount of time. I have like they made like 5 Ed, Edd n Eddy toys, and 3 of them came from Subway. They had a Subway thing. I remember I walked into Subway. I said, "I want the Ed, Edd n Eddy toys." They're like, "You want a sandwich?" I'm like, "No." I just got the. So there's not that much Ed, Edd n Eddy merchandise out there. I've seen plushes of Plank out there, and they actually look better than the official Cartoon Network one. But this is an official one. It even says Cartoon Network on the tag and everything. Nice. It was just bought online at their store.
Crazy. Next.
So this one's from Flare Cobra. Dusty, will you be doing the holiday stream shenanigans this year?
We might. It's up to how many people are here and how many people want to do it. I've got 3 shows in December, because there's 3 Mondays in December that fall on show dates. So I got to do 3 shows in December, plus if we do any holiday shenanigans, then we'll have to do those shows too. So if we do, I'll announce it on Twitter, I'll announce it on my website, and I'll announce it on YouTube. So if we do that, you'll know first. All of you fans out there, you will know if we're going to do that thing. So once I start talking to some people, we want to do it, and we've got an idea on how to make it really fun. I mean, last year we just sort of mussed around, but we got some ideas on how to make it really fun, and we have been discussing it. Me and Karen have been discussing how we can make it more fun. So keep your ear open. We'll probably do it, but I got to get some people together to make sure that it's going to be fun. Okay? So keep your ear to the grindstone. It'll be fun if it does happen.
Ooh. Actually, Dusty, for those, because I know there's a couple people that are new to this. They want to know. Give your definition of the holiday shenanigans.
My definition of holiday shenanigans?
Yeah, because people are asking about it.
Oh, so basically last year what we did is we actually just I had a separate live stream channel, and called the manliest channel in the world, something like that. I can't remember, but it's still up there. But I have to go revive it. And what we did is we just had a bunch of people in the house for the holidays, and we just turned the camera on and did stupid stuff. Just basically we sat there and interviewed people who were in the house and did, drank cider and told jokes, and we'd call people on the Skype and get them on the call just to be stupid, right? And on Christmas we actually opened presents, and on Thanksgiving we ate food, and it was kind of fun. So it may happen again. I'd like it to happen. It just depends on if we can make it a little more structured and a little less non-structured. So, but even non-structured, it was fun. So we might just do the same thing again. And if we do, I'll let everybody know about what's going to go happen. Okay?
That's good. Ooh, so this one's from Sprite Gaming. For you, Joe. What do you do for your writing process? Do you use a structure for your pieces?
I'm glad that you asked this, because every writer gets the same question of how do you write. And I would highly recommend, this is what I did my junior year of college. I was a writing major, but I was also a business major. And so the book I would recommend anyone to read who wants to become a writer is On Writing by Stephen King. And in this book, Stephen King says, this is Stephen King's word, I write 1,500 words a day, 1,500 words a day. And that is what it takes to be a writer. That is what Stephen King said. And so I said, okay, well, all right, Stephen King, then I shall do that.
Yes.
And so I sat in front of a computer every day for 10 years, and every day wrote 1,500 words. Now, I don't include weekends on that because I am human. But I sit my butt down in front of the computer, and I don't leave until I get 1,500 words. And it takes an extraordinary amount of discipline, and you might write a lot of stuff that's crap. Mm-hmm. But I wrote, true story, I wrote 11 books before I ever got published.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I liken it to a baseball player. You got to have a lot of batting practice before you can show up at the plate and hit a home run.
Yeah.
And you see Mark McGwire do that, and all you see is the home run. You don't see the thousands of hours of him just standing there in an empty baseball stadium hitting with that automatic pitcher. Yeah, swinging a bat over and over. And so I don't consider those 10 novels wasted novels. I consider them batting practice for the novel that got published.
Yeah, look at this show. I mean, the first 10 or 15 or 20 shows that we did are, hard to watch. But now we got to this point, which has taken us 2.5 years, and we've got a format down. We've got great audience, we got great questions, and we got a great co-host, and we all mesh and meld, and it's a pleasure to do this show now. So it just takes practice, man. If you're going to be an artist, you have to draw 10,000 bad things before a good thing comes out of your right arm or whatever arm you draw with. Same thing with playing baseball. I started playing baseball when I was like 6 years old. T-ball. I couldn't even swing a bat. By the time I hit high school, I was smacking homers 545 feet out. But it took me 10 years to get there. 12 years to get there.
And I'm not exactly made it yet. So I mean, with you guys helping Alice become well, maybe I will make it. But if you want to talk about to real writers like Amy Kenyon Rogers or M.A. Larson and those things, you will always hear something different. I mean, a lot of times the reason that I say sit yourself down and just write is you will find your prices. You will find what works for you. Experiment. Do nano. Find a writing partner. I did a weird thing where I wrote a screenplay and a novel at the same time for the same story, and that just kind of stimulated me. So, experiment, keep at it, and if you want it enough, you won't quit.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
If you want it enough, there's no quitting you. So.
Yeah.
So, you know what, Screwy? You know what time it is, Screwy?
What?
You know what time it is?
What is it?
It's that time.
No.
I know.
No.
Yes.
No!
No!
But it is that time. We are at the end of the program. So this is the point where Mr. Joe Stevens gets to ask me and Screwball a question.
Okay. Got this part.
Caught you again.
You caught me. All right. Screwy, I would ask you, if you had any job in the MLP production, what would it be?
Oh, fudge. Oh, that's a good one. Holy cow.
I want to know what you would want to do on the show. What would you want to do on the show?
I know it's like what most would ever say, but I would love to do voice or something like that. No. Actually, you know what? Forget that. No, I would love to do music.
Aha.
Because I love orchestral, and I know for a fact that Stephen Andrews is a huge orchestral fan, just like me. We've had so much discussions over it, and I always wanted to be working beside him and seeing how he pulls it off, because I love. I can see the hints that he puts into his music to other stuff out there, and same with William Anderson. I would love to work side by side with him too, and seeing how they pull it off. And oh man, that's a dream coming true for me. Like,
unsung heroes of MLP, those two unsung heroes. They're excellent. Yeah.
Yes, and they're amazing. They're very, very well done in what they do. And that's basically it.
we've had Stefan on the show. I've been working on Will Anderson, so hopefully that'll happen in the future. Yeah.
And Dusty, I think I know your answer to that question, so I'll ask you a different one.
Okay.
I will ask you. I know you're a huge cartoon fan from all your entire life.
Yeah.
What one show would you want to bring back, whether as a reboot or as just like that ended at season 3 or whatever, and let's bring back season 4? What would you want to bring back?
Oh, you know what I want to bring back? I want to bring back Thunder the Barbarian, because it ended stupidly. Basically, they were just getting into the meat of it in the middle of season 2, and they basically cut it. Done. It was a beautifully laid out cartoon. Right? Because it was right at that time when you had science fiction, science fantasy happening, and then it was basically a science fiction fantasy. You had bits of Conan the Barbarian, you had bits of Star Wars, you had bits of magic, you had bits of all of this stuff melding together. And it was like, yeah, it was limited animation, but it was still written well, and it was like, wow, this could have been so huge, and they just gave up on it way too early. Way too early. Thunder the Barbarian needs to come back. You can actually buy it now on DVD when it wasn't available for a very long time. But now you can actually get it. And I might actually get that for my dad for Christmas, because he loved that show.
Brilliant. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, Thunder the Barbarian. I'd bring that back in a heartbeat. But that, my friends, brings us to the end of the program. So I want to remind everybody out there that we have this t-shirt that we're selling. And it's back up over my shoulder right now. T-shirts. We love t-shirts around here. Would love to see you guys wearing it next season at the conventions. It supports the show and gets us, so we can be here for you. Love being here for you guys, entertaining you. Also, check out my YouTube channel, Dustykatt Roads, for more stuff. We're going to start doing some more stuff on there. I've got this old bike, which is where I fix motorcycles. I've got some plans for that coming up, probably beginning of next year. I'd like to thank Dave for taking time out of his writing schedule.
Thank you so much, Dusty.
Yes, to come over and talk to us.
The book, I hope you don't mind me plugging it one last time.
Plug it.
The book is Alice Takes Back Wonderland.
Alice Takes Back
Coming
Wonderland.
to bookstores and Amazon.com spring 2015. It is the Avengers of Fairy Tales.
Yes.
Alice Takes Back Wonderland coming in 2015 spring. But you can get my book now, self-published, Joe Stevens, Moxalama, now currently available on Amazon Kindle.
Yes. With that, I also like to thank Screwy for doing everything he does. Amy, my wonderful girlfriend. Lance Bubala upstairs, who does everything else.
We love you, dear.
Nathan, Cowboy Dave, EFN for giving us this whole program, and everyone working on MLP FIM, which we just announced is going to come spring 2015. Hopefully that doesn't mean May. So,
why May?
Yeah, May is like end of spring. We'd like the beginning of spring, please. And stop bugging the people who are working on the show. We now know when it's coming out, so leave them alone. Let them do their work.
Make it sooner.
Yeah, shush, Screwy. And of course, all you people out there who come and every time we turn that camera on, make dang fools out of ourselves. So you come and laugh at us, and we love it. So please keep coming. We love to see you guys. Next guest in 2 weeks, Screwball.
Wait, I'm the guest, what?
No. Who's the guest?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I like when you surprise me, okay?
Okay, here's the surprise.
Surprise.
Surprise! Tommy Oliver. Tommy Oliver is going to be our guest in 2 weeks. He's going to talk all of the things that he's doing on Patreon, all the stuff that he does with his YouTube account, all of his, the things that he does. I mean, he sits there and he talks about movies. He talks about the show. He talks about a whole bunch of stuff. So, wonderful, wonderful guy. All the drawings of the Tommy Oliver character are him. He does all the art, too. So, he's an artist. He does all of this stuff. So, we're going to have Tommy Oliver on the show in 2 weeks. So, come on back in 2 weeks. We'll have him. And I've got 3 great shows lined up for December. So, don't miss any of it. And hopefully, we're going to get people in here for the holidays, and we'll do some holiday special stuff, too. So, with that, we're going to catch you later. Be excellent to each other.
Good night and good buck.
Good night and good luck. See ya.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We hate to leave you, but we'll be back soon. Good night, sweetheart. Good night. Good night, sweetheart. Good night.